Star Wars is a big universe. There are so many scenes in Star Wars, and they are all important to the story, the characters, and to the planets. If we didn't have even one or two scenes in Star Wars, it could change the overall view we have on the Star Wars movies. Star Wars is a big world where people can use their imagination to think of things. And without some crucial scenes, we might not have people thinking about Star Wars every day. So, let's talk about the top 5 scenes in Star Wars. Some people might think you can't narrow it down to the top 5, but I'm going to try. So here we go. Also, if you're a sequels fan, I don't have any sequel ones here, so maybe I can find another video to talk about the sequels. But, you know, I don't want to make you mad, but I'm sorry.
I hate it when he does that.
Once again, you've proved
If you'll excuse me.
Well, anyways, let's get on with the video. Number 5, Duel of the Fates. This scene is probably the most important scene in Star Wars. It is the fate of Anakin. As Dave Filoni says, that if Qui-Gon won, then Anakin probably would have never turned to the dark side. And because Qui-Gon lost, that hope was lost. Because Obi-Wan was basically like a brother to Anakin. There was no age difference, and Obi-Wan wasn't really ready to become a teacher. So, this scene is the most important probably in Star Wars, because this is why Star Wars exists. However, if Star Wars didn't exist, then we wouldn't have all these other scenes, and I think as a scene itself, it's, you know, it's alright. I think to the overall story, it's super important, but as the scene itself, it's not going to go top 3, so that's why I put it at number 5. Now, let's move on to number 4. Number 4, here we go. The I am your father scene. The Luke I am your father, or the no I am your father, we still don't know. People can argue about that forever. So, when you see a character who's just a farm boy, and he sees this horrible empire, and he joins a cause to fight these awful people, and then he realizes he's the son of the worst guy there. That is a crazy scene for fans. And when I was making this list here, so I could talk about it in this video, I wasn't thinking about this scene, because that's something I just already knew in my head. I have 4 scenes down, and I was like, I need another scene. I'm trying to think, was there another important scene that I'm missing? And I'm like, oh, the I am your father scene. I forgot, because it's just, I'm so used to it now. I'm so used to Vader being Luke's father, but it was a huge scene. This changed the galaxy. And this is arguably, some people could put this at their top scene. But for a long-time Star Wars fan like me, I got used to it. And it's a big reveal, of course, but it's not exactly what I would put at number 1 or number 2. Because while it's a big reveal, once you already know, then it's not as useful. Like on the second watch, you're not going to be as shocked by this. Whilst these scenes that are coming up, these are really important scenes. So, let's move on to number 3. Number 3, here we go. Anakin in the Jedi Temple, Jedi Council, making his choice. And if you don't know what scene I'm referring to the scene, well, I'll probably put it up, but just for some context, the scene I'm referring to is where Mace Windu tells him to take a seat in the council, and he has to make his choice, and then you have that beautiful music, and it's going between Anakin and Padme, and they're both looking out the window, and he has to choose what he's going to do. Is he going to become a Jedi, or is he going to become a Sith? And this would change Star Wars no matter what. And this had the same thing to do with the Duel of the Fates one, but I just think this scene is more important. If you watch this on the second watch, this is still so important. Just seeing, you know what he chooses, but just being, why did he choose this? There's so many thoughts that circle your mind when you're thinking about this. So that's why I put that up here. Okay, on to the best ones. These next scenes, the top 2 now. These I couldn't decide what would be 1 and what would be 2nd. I was thinking, what if I just make it a tie? But that's not interesting, is it? So I did think of an order to put it, but I'm just gonna get that now. So just think of them as both first place, but there's a first and second place. It is honorable mentions time. I'm sorry, you'll get to number 1 or number 2, but first you gotta listen to this. And this is still a great scene. This would be number 6 if I did a top 6. It's when Luke is talking to Leia and telling her that they are basically brother and sister. Now, you might think that's not important, but it is important because, as I've talked about to death on this channel, it's not about spaceships, it's about a story. I'm just going to say that for now. If you want to hear more about me talking about that, go check out George Lucas' greatest writers, or whatever, that's something that's called like that, of all time. That'll explain it. But it's about, Star Wars is about family stories and family problems. And that is just crazy knowing that their brother and sister and their father is Darth Vader. So that's why it's an honorable mention. And now we can get on to the first and second. For my second favorite scene in all of Star Wars, I am choosing when Luke is in a fight with Vader in Return of the Jedi, and he cuts off his hand, and he's holding the lightsaber above Vader, an unarmed Vader, and he looks at the hand he cut off of Vader's, and then he looks at his robot hand, and he realizes, is this the path I want to take? Is this what I want to be someday? Do I want to be the man in the machine who's working for the Emperor? Is this me? And he chooses not to. He chooses to risk his life and the rebellion just to redeem his father, and he realizes he cannot be the Sith. Now, this is, I can't even, this is almost the most important scene, and it's the end. It's, what is he going to do? Is he going to strike him down? Is he going to join Palpatine? What is he going to do? Right? But just that, I bet people who went in and watched this, they expected Vader's going to kill Luke, Luke's going to kill Vader, something like that, but it's just crazy seeing him throw down his lightsaber and say, basically, if he's not going to join me, then I'll die. It was that important to him that Vader comes back to the light. So that's why I think that is the second favorite scene. On to number 1. The greatest scene in all of Star Wars may shock you, because I bet you have one, and it's not this. I can guarantee that this is not your favorite scene. However, I'm going to go in depth and talk about this one. So here we go. Binary Sunset. Okay. Maybe some of you agree with me. I bet some of you do, but some of you and most of you probably don't. So let's talk about why I choose Binary Sunset. So let's talk about Luke. So we all love Star Wars to death. Well, most of you, I bet. So we already know who Luke is in his story. But Luke, to who we know, if we're watching A New Hope, is a farm boy who has nothing to do with anything. And needs to make a choice on what he's going to do with his life. And he's not even, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru they haven't even died yet, but he's just looking into the sun and thinking, is this what I'm going to do forever? Is this who I am? Am I a farm person? Farm boy? I mean, he was talking about Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru like that. This isn't what he wants to do. And he's looking in the sunset. What is my future? What am I going to be doing for my life? And I think that's the most important thing, is because, yes, maybe that Anakin's, you could argue Duel of Fates could be number 1, because that's basically what is Anakin going to do for his life. But Anakin didn't make that choice. Luke made his own choice. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul made that choice for him. And no matter what, no matter how cool Anakin is, Vader is, he, as George Lucas said, made the deal with the devil. He took the short route of quick power, but you have to join the dark side. And there would be no Anakin at the end of Return of the Jedi without Luke Skywalker. So you gotta say that is the greatest scene, because if Luke wasn't Luke, then Vader would have never been redeemed. And Luke is so important because he changes the galaxy just by maybe looking into the sunset and thinking, what am I going to do? That is crucial. And I hope some of you can see now after I describe that. So, if you guys want some more of this stuff, top 5 something scenes, I can maybe do top, for sequel fans, I think I have a few, because the people who leave dislikes on my sequel videos, you guys, which, I'm happy you like the movies, I could do top 5 scenes in the sequels. I mean, yeah, I mean, they wouldn't even. I don't think any sequel scenes would make top 10 here, but I can definitely do that if you guys are interested. So, thank you for watching this, and see ya. See you in the next video, guys.